Shalom to Robert Shaman.
Shalom, Manishma.
Great, Baruch Hashem. So, first of all, tell us what brings you to Israel these days.
Well, first of all, I'm one of the few Jews from Tennessee, so it's always good to come to Israel. I've been coming here since I've been 16, so I feel like it's my second home, and it's always a blessing and honor to be here. And I'm here speaking for the second time. I did a bunch of speeches a few months ago, and by popular demand, they're bringing me back to Israel. I speak all over the world, but of course my favorite place to speak is right here in Israel, so I can mix business and a lot of pleasure and get a good Shabbat in.
Now, your visit here, the speeches, is all in wake of the social protest, what is called the middle class. What are your main messages in that field?
Well, first of all, is there a middle class left? You know, it's funny, in Israel, everybody thinks they're unique. It's all different. And there's different things about Israel which I understand because I'm here a lot and I've invested here. But it's really the same as in America. And America has the Occupy Wall Street, the protests, same thing. So what I'm going to say, a lot of people won't like, and I understand there's pain. I understand there's economic challenges. I understand in Israel has unique situations. Housing seems unaffordable to everybody. People work and they don't seem to get ahead or make a job with their job. But I know that I grew up very poor, and I moved out of my house when I was 15, and I had no money until I was 27 or 28. I couldn't pay the rent. I never thought I could buy a house, and I blamed everybody. I blamed the economy, I blamed rich people, I blamed the government. And then one day, my mentor, who has no education, no background, who is worth millions, told me, Robert, take responsibility. The minute you take responsibility for yourself, everything will change. I'm like, well, I'm not, what do you mean I'm responsible? I didn't like it. And people have to say, instead of blaming others, blaming the government, the economy, they have to ask the question, and they're not going to like it, how can I? What can I do to change things? Take your power back. When you blame other people, you're giving your power up. And I know there's frustration out there, but I've never met anybody who protested against something that made something happen. So instead of saying what you're against, what are you for? And I'm for people. Anyone can do something better. Anyone can start a business. Anyone can get an extra job. Anyone can make a budget. Anyone, if they want, can buy a house. It may take longer than they think, and there's other ways to do it. So I'd be more than glad to share some of the secrets, because when I say that, people go, well, how? And the first thing is attitude. Whatever you think, you're right. So if you say, I can't, you're right, I can't. The question is, how can I?
You know, some of the demands are that the government should be involved, should interfere.
Well, I'm not a politician, I'm not an economist. And again, you're blaming the government or want the government to do something, you know, for you. I believe in the individual and God, you know, and I've got to take responsibility. So if I'm going to wait for someone to come fix me or save me, which I did for many years and nobody came, then all of a sudden I took responsibility and said, what do I have to do? What can I do to make things differently? So I'm a business person, an investor, I have a family. To me, what the government does or doesn't do has no effect on my life.
Let's talk a little about the secrets. You're talking about attitude, but it's also a lot about the ability to dare.
Right. To dare and to do. So it's one thing to have the right attitude, which most people don't. And number two, you know, the word dare, it's a great word you use. It's fear. People are scared, and I understand that. I was so scared to start anything, to do anything. And where does the fear come from? I believe, especially here in Israel, we're all perfectionists. We're scared of making a mistake. So that's why we don't start something or start investing or start our own business, because we're scared, what if I make a mistake? I got some great news. You're going to make mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes every day, and that's how you learn. It's a process. So you have to dare, you have to get over your fear and take action. And the minute you start taking action, positive actions, you feel better. You know, just like the gym. You can talk about going to the gym and eating less cheesecake, but until you go to the gym, you don't want to go there. And as soon as you go there, you feel better. You're doing something. But if you don't ever do anything, take action, you'll always be thinking, wondering, worrying, analyzing, and have fear. Same with business, same with investing, same with making money.
Robert, you're speaking around the world. You're helping people and consulting around the world. But now you're here, you're a Jew in the land of Israel. So let's talk a little about the Jewish COP. Some people call Israel the startup nation.
Absolutely. I'm very fortunate. I do 140 speeches all over the world every year. And I'm telling you, as an insider and an outsider, someone visiting Israel, there's something different about here, the people. Everybody you meet, and maybe it's the Jewish culture, the Israeli culture. Number one, most of them are doing something. Number two, they're intense, which is good and bad. Number three, we're always complaining about something, which is good because that means we're going to make things better, right? If you're not complaining, you'll never improve. And number four, and I think a lot has to do with the military, is you meet 21-year-olds and 22-year-olds who are amazing. They have responsibility when they're 18 or 19. They're in charge of commandos, tanks, airplanes, technology from the Army. And in America, North America, when we're 18 or 19, we're usually in college getting drunk, maybe studying a little bit. And I think the entrepreneurial spirit here is amazing, and the facts speak for themselves. Israel is one of the top economies in the world. Israel per income per person, maybe it doesn't feel like that for everybody, is amazing. The unemployment rate's low compared to Europe and the United States. So it's working. It's different here, and everybody you meet is international. They think internationally. They speak at least 2 or 3 languages. They're moving around. They know people all over the world. They're doing things. So it's very exciting, and it's contagious. You feel it when you get here.
So how would you define basically what you do? What do you do?
Well, I'm an investor, an author, but mainly I'm a success coach. And all I'm concerned about is getting results for people, not just theory or motivation. I want to get people results. So I coach them, whether individual or in a group, on success. Number one, they got to set a goal, and number two, a daily goal of what they're going to do to get there, and then number three, I teach them what works and how to get there much quicker. My mentors taught me, and they asked me to go teach other people. So it's a way of giving back.
Now, regarding this field of consulting, of mentors and coaching, sometimes when you ask one of these mentors, so how did you succeed? They tell you, by coaching. So there is some sort of pyramid going on here.
Correct. I actually take all the proceeds I get from my book sales and coaching and give them to tzedakah, to charity, 100%. And I make my money from my business, which is investing. I've actually retired 3 times. So I'm a very active investor. This past week I did 3 real estate deals myself. And I have other business I'm very involved in. So there's a lot of people that say, do as I say, don't do as I do. And I believe... and I learned from the Talmud, if you want to teach someone how to clean their room, you got to clean your room first, right? So I'm actually doing what I'm teaching and teaching what I'm doing.
So tell us, how is it visiting Israel?
Well, it feels great. The first trip I ever took in my life when I was 17, I left Tennessee and came to Israel, went to Gadna, went to all the sites, had a profound effect on me. Regardless of your background or where you're from or what you do, it's impossible to come to Israel and not feel a sense of being home. And it's very emotional for me because when I came here, the first time I was very poor. I actually had nothing to eat. Somebody helped me. I met some great rabbis, some great teachers, and now I'm coming back, getting interviewed. To me, it's like a crazy dream. And it's just a very special place. It's one of the places you feel like you're home, with the people and the sites, the history, the connection. And it's an honor to be here. And it's funny for me to see the Israelis, to see some of the Israelis complaining about things, and I'm like, wait a minute, these are the people that came from nowhere, walked across deserts, had everyone fight them. They built an amazing country, and people are worried about the economy or opportunity. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, these are the people that can do anything, and they've done it. And for thousands of years, I have no worries about Israel and the economy and the people. It's a very special place.
Robert Chaman, thank you very much for joining us.
Toda rabah, b'vakasha, shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.